Bouncy, bouncy ball, bouncy ball, bouncy ball. I found me a bouncy ball, so now that shit is mine. Hi, everyone. Alright, so, just got back from seeing Terminator Genisys. Tie-in. Anyways, um, you know, I had the lowest of expectations for this one. Like, I don't think you could have had lower expectations than I did. I was like, motherfuck, they've run this series into the goddamn ground. And, I'm not saying Arnold can't go anymore, but the dude's like 70. I'm like, how the fuck is this gonna play out? I didn't watch too many of the trailers. I saw the first one. I was like, man, that looks like dog shit. I thought initially I thought the cast was fucking. I thought that was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a worthless cast. Um, I don't know who the fuck Jason Clarke is, but I'm seeing him in a lot of shit. That man is an ugly bastard. That is not who I didn't envision. The savior of humanity in the war against the machine. Or machines, sorry. To just be so homely. I mean, the guy, I know he's British, but he really didn't help the stereotype of, oh, the Brits have them really bad teeth. Oh, ho, ho. It was, yeah. Anyways, I thought it was kind of solid. I was pleasantly surprised. It was a shit ton of action. The movie was pretty straightforward. I mean, there's not a whole lot of story there. It's like, if you've seen a Terminator movie, you've seen all of them at this point. I was like, after Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and Terminator Salvation, I sat in the front row basically waiting for the screen to take a shit on my face. Surprisingly good. Like I said, not a lot of substance with the story. I mean, I think they I think the writers or whoever had the idea or the concept for the movie really started to figure, wow, we've gone back. They've gone back in time so many fucking times that they've probably fucked up the timeline. So of course, like from you see in the trailers and shit like that, like Arnold fights 1980s Arnold. That was kind of cool. I mean, the punks that they had for the original three uh, made me really beg for Brian Thompson and Bill Paxton and the other guy that never went anywhere. Uh, Not much to say about that scene. It sounded pretty much like Arnold. Probably because he was in the fucking movie this time. It wasn't just the CG face and crap on someone else's body. That'd be like me putting, like, at this point in time, at 148 pounds, putting me on some big, like, fat ass, body and just putting my voice over the role, You'd be like, that's definitely not him. Solid action. You know, I was I was thinking like the T-1000 was gonna have a much bigger role, and God, I was like, oh, cool. The dude that was playing Storm Shadow, Beyond. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, so sorry, bro. The Byung Hun Lee. He Red 2, Storm Shadow, a couple other things. Man, they bitched that character out pretty good. He got a couple cool scenes. And they killed him. I was like, what the shit, man? God. But the one thing I can say, and I was thinking about this before I went and saw the movie a couple days ago. I was like, man, he's got to run after, like, Sarah and Kyle and them He's got to run after him at some point. And I was basically praying that he would do the Robert Patrick T-1000 run. And he kind of did. They didn't show it for very long, but they did it. You know, I remember as a kid, after seeing Terminator 2, you know, my mom would always, you know, I guess I've had this, like, little mimic and impersonation and, you know, ability, I guess, to act and do, you know, things that are enjoyable on some sort of level, or replicate them, voices, all that. But, like, literally, she'd be like, how'd the T-1000 run, Justin? Oh. It's like, who the fuck runs like that? You know. It's like you're running in karate chop and shit. That's how he ran. And surprisingly enough, he did it. He fucking did it. For like 5 seconds, but he did it. Oh, that was so cool. Oh, I think that almost gave me a boner in the movie theater, really. I was like, fucking did it! He did it! The people, the other like 7 people in the theater were probably like, what the fuck is that dude on? You know, but I gotta say, I didn't like what they did with the whole John Connor thing. You know, besides, you know, I don't know. I guess, you know, and what the fuck, one thing that really just, like, this is probably the biggest bitch I have about, like, you know, people being characters and other shit. I was like, okay, great. You know, as soon as I saw it, I was like, as soon as I saw the guy, I was like, the fucking, is that Doctor Who? Is that the most recent Doctor Who? And he turned out to be Skynet. I'm like, wow, the Time Lord is Skynet. That was irritating as all hell. You know, not a very good casting choice there. Because I'm pretty sure anyone that's heard of Doctor Who or some shit like, I mean, it goes back to, like, you know, the most recent Fright Night movie with David Tennant as Peter Vincent, which horrid. He did you know, I can't remember the actor's name offhand, but I mean, that dude was Peter Vincent, and to have like a stage magician with a goatee as Peter Vincent, I'm like, nah. Anyways, I was like, the Time Lord, Doctor fucking Who, is Skynet. And commence. Fucking why? Why did they have, out of every person imaginable, did they have to choose the wimpiest, gayest looking fucking, you know, character actor that is on the BBC? Who's Doctor fucking Who? Why did they have to choose that wimpy sack of shit to be Skynet? Then again, why did they choose, you know, the bitch from Game of Thrones to be Sarah Connor? I'm like, you know, she's holding a gun, and I'm like, when's she gonna call down her dragons? I know that's just a stupid fucking thing. It's, you know, you get so involved in people being like characters that translates to what they do outside of shit. You know, I thought the acting was decent. I'm not the biggest Jai Courtney fan, and no one's ever gonna replace. He did a lot better job than Anton Yelchin. That fucker can't act for shit. You know, I don't know. It's like they didn't get the greatest cast. And let's be honest, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not the greatest actor ever, but he does one thing very well. He plays a Terminator very well. He does. That guy was made for that role. Very little emotion. And so when, like, in the movie, when he actually kind of shows emotion, You know, I'm I'm getting flashbacks at T2. You know, chill out, dickwad. You know, but I don't know. They did include Miles Dyson and Miles Dyson's son. You know what that is? Shout out! Callback! Had no fucking purpose. Miles Dyson in the second one was the guy that was doing all the programming. Right? Right? That's why Sarah Connor wanted to kill him. Right? And he was played by Courtney B. Vance for a quick walk-on role. I guess he had time away from Law and Order, you know, Criminal Intent or whatever the fuck he was doing last. But that, and I mean, there was a couple characters that really didn't do shit that were like there. Now I don't know why they chose J.K. Simmons, you know, to be the cop that Kyle Reese rescued, you know, or basically saved his life from the T-1000. You know, that was basically a walk-on role too. I feel bad for you know, I feel bad for that guy. He got so punked. Anyways, you know, but that was another thing. He wasn't the first T-1000 that they sent the fuck back. They didn't even show the other one. They just showed Arnold, young Arnold, who was billed as Guardian. Why didn't you just call him the Terminator? No, he's Guardian. Or better yet, fucking name him Pops, because that's what they called him the whole damn movie. Um, you know, J.K. Simmons' character was like comic relief. It's like we didn't really need comic relief in this fucking movie. Uh, now there was a lot of solid moments in the movie. It's hard to put it all together right now because it was you know, here is the line, straightforward. It was a straightforward movie. I know that they didn't really take a lot of risks, but the action was great. It's impressive. I mean, I liked it. And coming from being such a snobby ass with action movies and going, nah, 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 you know, I can take it for what it is, which was, you know, action movie. It was a Terminator film, and it actually felt like a Terminator film. It wasn't all dark and gritty and all this pissing and moaning and bitching. Well, there was some pissing and moaning and bitching, you know. This time it was Sarah Connor's character again. Not on she was. I don't want to butcher names, but I think it's Emilia Clarke or something. Not on par with Linda Hamilton, but that again, I can admit when you know I'm being unfair, and I'm being unfair right now. Um, I grew up on these movies. Terminator and Terminator 2 are like the cornerstones of you know my like childhood. I remember having like the T-800 and like the T-1000. I had this fucking weird one where he was on the bike, but he looked all pudgy you know he had the helmet and everything. I fucking lost the bike. I don't know. I had the figure, played with it in Play-Doh, and ended up breaking it. Story of my life. But I grew up on these films. So, you know, I'm going to compare them. You know, someone else coming into the movie, like a new person, like, you know, someone, you know, young, or, you know, that's not really integrated with the series is probably not going to notice all these things. Um, it, and they really did play up the whole Arnold being so old, you know, and I think it was kind of like a nudge at him. Like it's kind of I was kind of expecting at some point for him to take like Danny Glover's like Murtaugh kind of quote, you know, getting too old for this shit, you know, something, you know, you know. Um, but as much as he was in the movie, he was kind of out of the movie, if that makes any sense. But they aged him and made him gray haired and shit like that, and you'd always say, basically, you know, old, not obsolete.
And that's a fair assessment. He's old, but I mean, nobody kicked more ass, when I was growing up as an action star than Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, fuck, I remember Terminator 2, Predator, Commando. These are the films I grew up with. So of course I will always Arnold could be in the next 7 of these fucking movies, which they're probably gonna make, you know, and he could be in a fucking wheelchair. I'll go watch it. I'll I it's one of those things. It's a cornerstone of my life. It's like with cinema, that's basically where it came from. I grew up on these films. Jai Courtney was not a very good Kyle Reese, but I mean, no one's gonna step into Michael Biehn's shoes and really do because it was new back then. But overall, it was good. I think they overpowered the shit out of John Connor. I mean, it's kind of like game breaking status with him. I mean, the T800 held up a pretty good fight with him at the end, but ended up getting his arm fucking ripped off and shit like that. And I mean, but that's been like every fucking Terminator movie. He's always been outclassed, basically, except in the first one. He was bad as fuck. But he always ends up getting outmatched. And so you come to expect that. So, take Terminator Salvation, when he got killed when, the T-800 got killed, basically decapitated by Marcus's character. I'm like, what? I mean, they just dumped molten fucking lead on him or some shit, and it didn't even faze him. I don't really know how acid and liquid metal works, but if it was enough to dissolve the T-1000, I'm pretty fucking sure it would have dissolved your goddamned arm. Come on, I'm not dumb. I'm pretty sure, that wouldn't have fucking worked out as well. But anyways, like I was saying before, they didn't even show the initial T-1000 that got sent to kill Sarah Connor when she was 9. They really like to get them when they're young. Skynet's not really sounding like, this big mastermind intelligence. They're sounding more like a bunch of fucking pedophiles. I think Freddy Krueger is Skynet. Holy shit. Get John Connor when he's young. Get Sarah Connor when she's young. Sorry, that was creepy. Overall, good experience. And I'm glad I didn't see it in 3D because I'd probably be, the light would probably be off and I'd probably have an ice pack up to my head. I'm glad that my movie theater over here doesn't do the 3D shit because I can't stand 3D. It's like, hey Justin, do you want to go see a 3D movie? I'd rather you take a hammer tacker to my nuts and just staple me to my chair so I don't have to get up. Sound good? Yes, I'm suggesting someone staple my nuts to a seat so I don't have to go to a movie. That's how much I dislike 3D. Anyways, I'll call a spade a spade. They did something unique with taking the the hope of humanity and making him the hope for Skynet. So I give it that. It's not one of those things you would have expected, except they ruined it in the fucking trailer. I'm so sick of fucking movies getting ruined with the trailer. The twists and turns and plots and shit like that. It's like, come on! I don't need to know the whole fucking movie before I go see the movie. Just show me shit to be interested in it. Is that so fucking hard to understand? It's like with a comedy, they do the same kind of shit. They throw the best jokes in the fucking trailers so you think, man, this movie's gonna be great. I'm gonna laugh my tits off. And then there's nothing funny in the movie except those 3 parts you've already seen. So, no surprise when John Connor just shows up and they did. But you kind of realize this shit was coming when, Doctor Who just, basically attempted. That was like, oh no. Scarface is getting sodomized by a Terminator. Gross imagery. I didn't think Terminators had sexual
organs. That's probably just me thinking that. Sorry, I don't know left and right. Genesis. I'm gonna milk that for all it's worth. I'm gonna say it at least 2 more times. Which, ironically, you know, the flashback scenes where, you know, then you come to find out it's Kyle Reese experiencing both like timelines. Once again, wait for it, wait for it. You don't know how to explain this shit, so you're just like, okay, this is what we got. I pulled this out of my ass. He saw his 12-year-old self opening a box. I remember my fucking, like, younger self opening up a box and saying Genisys. And I played the shit out of it. But now it's an app, and I think they really did a nice little social commentary thing with that when they were in the hospital. Because everyone's on their fucking phones. Everyone's on their little tablet pieces of shit. And everyone's connected. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's a reality at this point. Shit. No one goes anywhere without a cell phone. No one does anything without texting. No female in this day and age does anything without taking a fucking selfie every 5 fucking minutes. You know. That shit's not far off. You know, liken it to like you know, the iPad, the iPad Slim, or some fucking launch shit from Apple or some crap like that. Already 1 billion pre-orders. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. We're all connected. Difference is that some of us don't want to be connected to everybody. I have a Facebook. I'm rarely on it. I post a couple things. Maybe once a week or something. Why? Because I don't give a shit about all the random crap. And I'm pretty sure nobody gives a crap about all my random shit. And yes, I did that on purpose. But never mind. Replay the video. Anyways, good movie. Of course, I stayed while the credits were rolling because I knew sequel bait time, sequel bait. And of course, Skynet's not destroyed. Deep down in the bunker, there's a big sphere, and a Doctor Who particle guy showed up again. Like, great. Looks like we're getting a couple more of these films, which is all right to me. I'll go see them if they do as good a job. You know, I think that they're really going to have to try a fuckload harder for the next one. I mean, Jesus, we're what, on the 5th movie now? You know, so I'm interested to see if that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm interested in seeing it. You know, I think at first when Arnold got basically destroyed at the end and then fell into that vat of, you know, liquid metal, and then he just appears, I'm like, the fuck? Bullshit. I'm like sitting there in my head, you can't fuck with me, movie. How the fuck does that work? That doesn't. No, I'm calling bullshit. And then I remembered back in the beginning of the film that, you know, Cameo T-1000 like dripped some of the liquid metal into the Terminator's, the other Arnold's like head, and he got up, good as new. I was like, one less thing to bitch about. Arrgh! I'm trying not to be. I'm not really all that angry or anything, you know. It's weird, you know, just because, you know, I'm gonna whore myself out, and hopefully I get a couple sponsors. Anyways, you know, that's all due to the, you know, the coma unwind, liquid relaxation. It calms your mind, body, and soul. I'm not angry these days, for the most part. New phones, they piss me off, but as long as I have coma unwind, my mind, body, and soul, perfectly calm. Good movie. Good action film. By today's standards, good action film. A lot of things going boom.
A lot of guns going bang, 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 bang. Not a whole lot of character development. Didn't really need it. We know these characters. Sure, it's a different timeline. It's a different kind of plot. That kind of got thickened by, you know, the whole John Connor thing, which I'm trying not to go too much into spoilers with. I mean, I like the movie for what it is. It's a Terminator film. It's not nothing's ever going to be on par with Terminator 2. That's like hands down like the best of the best. Terminator 1 comes in, you know, close second at this point because it was original, it was fresh, it was new. Um, yeah, I know people will argue that James Cameron stole the idea and the story from someone else. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Um, you know, you got it on camera first, you win. To the victor go the spoils. James Cameron's one of the best directors and like story, presenters of, the last, 30, 40 years of cinema. So I don't care. It's kind of like, like who wrote this riff or did that first. If it got on CD first, you can't bitch about much. Every riff's been written at this point, Christ. But I thought it was a pretty solid movie. And I'm glad I keep going into these movies with low expectations. So I'm not setting myself up for, this disappointment that's just going to go, oh, crushing disappointment. And I'm also not, like, setting it so low that nothing's going to surprise me. I just didn't have much expectation for this film. I mean, the last two were not that good. I mean, they weren't. Rise of the Machines was not that good. Salvation sucked donkey dick. So I guess it was a fair, idea to be like, I'm not going to expect too much out of this. That's why I don't really look up a bunch of stuff on movies these days. I don't really key into it. So I don't leave so disappointed. And plus, I'm not so critical these days. I try to take things for what they are. I try to see the good in things, give credit where credit's due. Other than that, I can still say, okay, this was bullshit, this was stupid, this was that, it's just minor complaints. I mean, you put me behind the director and writer's seat, you're not going to have the same movie. I mean, I'm surprised, they kind of tried a little of the nudity thing. I mean, I saw dude ass. Didn't see female ass. And I'm not saying I wanted to or anything, but I'm like, hey, let's be equal here. Even Kyle Reese in the movie was like trying to, and they did the best job they could. And this is just how my mind works. So take it for what it is. They tried as hard as they could, even when he was like, him and Sarah were getting undressed to get into the time displacement shit that they, that homebrew shit that they did in the basement where they fucking killed the T-1000. Rest in peace, man. They bitched you out. I'm not gonna stop complaining about that. Anyways, even he was like, nipple, nothing, no, just round shapes. Oh, she covered up. I'm pretty sure like all the other hormone raging guys in the theater were about the same way. Let's see some titties. Let's see some titties. You had a better shot of seeing Jai Courtney's balls or something. You had a better percentage of if you really zoomed in or some shit like that. And, some people probably want to see that. Genisys. Sorry, I had no idea how to segue out of that. What else can I say? It's, I've said my major complaints. They overpowered the shit out of John. They overpower all the fucking, antagonist ones. I guess it's to, give you that little glimpse, take that little glimpse of hope that maybe this thing can be beat. I guess it kind of could be a metaphor for, Skynet in general. or the ending the war against the machines, which they didn't do again. Big shock. That's like the ending kind of wrapped itself up really gay. Like everything's gonna work out. I get the ability to choose. You know, but it was like I was expecting some, and of course this is how my fucking mind works. I get the ability to choose. Well, have fun here with your 12-year-old self, Kyle. I'm gonna go find something great. And then him like, what the fuck? That'd have been funny. Even if it was just like a joke. Like, I'm just kidding. Let's go. I completely derailed my train of thought. Oh, God. Maybe these work too well. Anyways, guys. I paid $9 for a ticket. Went and saw a 2-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie, something like that. They had like ungodly amount of previews in that movie. Yes, I'll pick my goddamn nose if I feel like it. Don't ask. There's pink on my finger. Pink. Ah. Anyways, I recommend it. I don't know if it's gotten that much love, but I guarantee you it's a lot better than a lot of the action films and bullshit you'll see out there. I didn't have the distinct pleasure of seeing the Kingsman's Service or the Justin Bieber looking fuck, Colin Firth or whatever, but I guarantee it was probably a lot better than that. With the chick with the sword, fucking like, I don't fucking know. I'm 2 for 2 now. This is good. I've gone to see 2 movies, and they both surprised me pretty well. They were solid. Well worth the admission price. I'm not so cheap that I won't go plop down $9 on a maybe. Because it could have been a sack of shit. The last 2 were, and I spent more money on those. Pretty sure I spent like $8 on Terminator 3, and I think I spent over like $10 on Salvation because I was in Moses Lake. At least I've got a nice little theater, and the seats are comfortable. I'll keep going to that one. It feels like I'm sitting on my couch. Wait for it. Wait for it. I think that's how I'm going to end this. That's my third, jerk off thing. So, anyways, go see it. It's pretty good. Like I said, when you compare it to Salvation and Rise of the Machines, vastly superior. Vastly. A lot of corny parts, a lot of dumb shit thrown in, of course. But the T-800 character was a little more fleshed out, and it wasn't so... I fucking want to say something other than machine-like. But, it was good. It was pretty good. I'm going to say that. It was actually pretty good. The action scenes were intense. There was a lot of them. It wasn't like one here, one there, and wait an hour. It was consistent. So, it kept a good flow. And sometimes you have to do that so people stay interested. Because a lot of people now, tits and explosions, I think I'm starting to sound like that's like my main thing. No, not really the tits part, just the explosions, and I don't really need necessarily explosions every 5 minutes. But it keeps pacing going. Because you can't just take an action film, action sci-fi kind of film like this, and, immerse it too much in dialogue and storyline. You need a little bit more. So, with a lot of action, with a lot of effects, some of the effects did not look that good. The early war scenes with the CG guys getting shot up by the spider unit, those look like shit. Some of the ones with Arnold, clearly CG, looked kind of bad. But you can't do too much live when you're throwing someone through metal bars and bouncing their face off of concrete. I understand that. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll buy it when it comes out on DVD. So I'm 2 for 2. You know, it's nice to actually enjoy movies. I still own crappy ones, but it's nice to enjoy a film and take it for what it presents and not try to pick it apart and be dickish about it. You know, life's good. Not LG good, because life's not good with them. Green screen of doom. But, good movie. You know, I wish I had more to say about it, but, you know, it was just, I wasn't sitting there trying to find stuff to bitch about. I was watching a movie, taking it for what it was, and enjoying it. And that's the biggest thing. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like, oh my god, Christian Bale sucks, or, you know, what the fuck is going on, you know, or a female Terminator. You know, it was enjoyable. Really enjoyable. And I'm glad I plopped down some money for it. And I hope, you know, others will too. Because if they keep going in this kind of a direction, it's a series that could still, you know, measure its dick against a lot of the really bad series that are coming out. So, anyways, I would say 7.5 out of 10. A little bit of lag, a little bit of bitching parts, but still really enjoyable. I enjoyed it, and Genisys! Sega. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go back to playing with my ball. Ball. Bouncy, bouncy ball. Me and the monkey are twinsies.